not an easy dissection. This is abdominal wall musculature, and there are actually 3 layers of muscle here: external oblique, internal oblique, and transversus abdominis. And then right down the midline there is a paired muscle called rectus abdominis that goes from the sternum to the pelvis. So you can imagine when the rabbit used its rectus abdominis, it was doing sit-ups.
It's the same exact muscle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're dissecting a mammal, and for the most part, the muscles are the same. It's the posture that's different.
Yep.
So now, what do I need? Forceps. Don't like that one.
So picky, Dr. Hart.
There.
Okay. Now I need to make a window here. That's just connective tissue. Anything that's white like that, you just pull off. Connective tissue. More there. There are 3 layers in here, and it's only, no thickness at all. So let's see. I'm going to cut this way first. And then I'll cut from that. Doing very shallow cuts here. Make sure your scalpel is sharpened.
And this is to reveal what?
3 layers of muscle. I say this is not an easy dissection.
Do they all go in the same direction?
No, that's the good thing. They don't all go in the same direction. So you actually have a prayer of telling when you've gone from one to the next. Okay. Oh yeah, except I've got them flipped back on the practical, so you really have to think about what layer you're in.
Oh, joy.
Okay. Here's a layer.
It's kind of like what a doctor's doing for grafting.
No, this wouldn't be a skin graft. This is muscle. But you're right. It's that kind of shallow cutting.
Nip tuck. Love nip tuck.
Sad, but it's ending.
Yeah. I stopped washing it when it got pretty. It got pretty out of hand.
What's ending? No, Nip tuck finished.
Nip tuck up to season 3 was amazing.
Yeah, season 6 was the last season.
So, I'm just finding connective tissue fibers and breaking them and peeling this layer up. And then when I get to the point at which I haven't cut anymore, I'll just take my scalpel and help it along. Now, fibers going like that. Yes, this is all one layer. The fibers look like they're going lengthwise and descending a little toward the rear, and here they're going lengthwise and descending toward the rear. So I'm convinced when I see inside and outside of that layer, it's all one layer. Now, I said fibers go a different direction in the next layer, and sure enough, these are going this way, and these are going like that, almost at right angles to the layer that I've taken off.
No.
Unfortunately, there's another layer in here. So let's see, do I want to make I'll make this a little smaller. An incision right here, and then up. Cutting. My scalpel is dull. I have to see whether I've done anything. Okay. Got a little slice there. Bit of a window. And if I lift this off, that's not going through that layer, but not happy with that. The other thing I'm wondering is this layer maybe stops right there, and that seems to be a different fiber direction. So maybe I'll go in at the top and come down. That might be better. Yeah, I'm cutting through meat, I can see that. Really need a sharp scalpel for this. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, got it, I think. Okay, those fibers are going the same direction. Take those off. Now maybe I have a big enough piece loose that I can pursue it this way.
The iPhone has terrible white balance.
Okay, yeah, here's what I wanted to show you. Put this back. Here's the original external oblique layer. And then I got to internal oblique, which is fibers going this way. And when I cut through that and lift it up, you'll notice it's ending up in a sheet of tendon here. It actually ends. And there's a deeper layer that is back to this fiber direction that continues here. So this is external oblique, this is internal oblique, and that's rectus abdominis. And then, yeah, external oblique, internal oblique, ending on this tendon, and then rectus or transversus abdominis. The other thing I want to find is rectus abdominis here, and this is still part of transversus, so I want to get that up. At least I think I want to get this up.
And the insertion would be towards the inner.
Good question. I'll think about that in a moment. First, let me just continue this. What I'm looking for now is rectus abdominis, which goes totally anteroposteriorly. Lift this off. Try and find it. Got it. Okay. Right here, from here to there, I can see a muscle with fibers going enteroposteriorly, and that's rectus abdominis. There's a strap on this side from sternum to pelvis, and a strap on the other side from sternum to pelvis. And if I separate just a little bit more across the midline, that's what I want to show you. Right. Don't want to take this right off. It's all welded together. It is. In the middle, between the two halves of rectus abdominis and where these come together, is a whitish zone that's all just connective tissue, and that's the linea alba, the white line that goes down the ventral midline. So the dissection, wow. A lot to do. External oblique, which I've opened up in two directions now. Internal oblique, which is coming down to that tendon. Transversus abdominis, the deep layer, and rectus abdominis going fore and aft, right on either side of the midline. Now, as you're doing this dissection, and I think it'll take you the rest of the period to do it well, because it's quite ticklish, why on earth would your abdominal muscles be such thin sheets with fiber directions crossing over each other, 3 layers? You can't rip them apart. How might they rip apart? If you had just 1 layer of muscle with fiber direction all parallel, the pressure of the organs inside could create a hernia. But since you have 3 thin layers and fiber directions alternate, that's like plywood, and it's much harder for anything to actually push through the 3 layers because the fiber directions are different. It happens, but very rarely. So abdominal wall, it's really thin, but it's built on that plywood effect, so it's very strong. Okay,